Well, hello there, and welcome to the Thursday morning edition of Yes 101 Visual Radio. I'm Zulfik Farzan.
And I am Kenza Farooq. Let's take a look at your headlines.
News First headline.
In your local news, Sri Lanka to roll out free meals for 1.7 million primary students. Heat advisory for 6 districts as temperature rises. CEB proposes electricity bill reduction matching October increase. Now in your international news, Brazil condemns paralysis on Gaza. Ukraine attends G20 meeting. Finally, in your sports, Afghanistan win final T20 versus Sri Lanka, but series belongs to hosts.
Well, let's start off with a look at your local news. Now, it's good news for kids going to school. The Ministry of Education has announced a nutritional intervention program which will start in March. Every student enrolled from grade 1 to 5, encompassing around 1.7 million children in Sri Lanka, will receive a free, healthy breakfast at 7:30 a.m. daily, right before the school starts. Now, this initiative takes inspiration from recent health department reports highlighting child malnutrition concerns. Now, to address this, the government is allocating 16.6 billion rupees to ensure the program's viability. Now, additionally, to ensure that the meals are up to standard and there is no issue, public health inspectors are going to be supervising the process.
And now moving on to some news from the weather. The Department of Meteorology has issued a heat warning for 6 districts in Sri Lanka today, including Kurunegala, Puttalam, Gampaha, Colombo, Hambantota and Munaragala. While high temperatures are expected across the country, these districts are predicted to experience heat index values that pose potential health risks. To combat the heat and stay safety, the department advises residents to drink plenty of water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. Avoid exerting yourself outdoors during peak heat hours, especially between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Opt for shade whenever possible, both indoors and outdoors. Wear protective clothing like hats and sunglasses. Wear loose-fitting, light-colored clothing that reflects heat instead of absorbing it. Dr. Deepa Pereira, a specialist at Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital, emphasized the importance of increased water intakes for both children and adults during hot weather to prevent dehydration.
That's right, Kinza. Now in some news that's actually going to benefit every household economically. The Ceylon Electricity Board has announced that they will submit a revised proposal of electricity tariffs to the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, or PUCSL, today. Now, yesterday, Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekara, told the Parliament that the tariff increase in October is likely to be removed for households, places of worship, and industries in the country.
International news.
Now in news overseas, something that we here at News First have been following since last year. Now Brazil's foreign minister has described and criticized the UN's conduct and saying that it's a paralysis of the UN Security Council on the wars in Gaza and Ukraine as he opened a G20 meeting where the international community's deep divisions were on display. Now the outlook is bleak for progress on the thorny agenda of conflicts and crises gripping the planet as foreign ministers from the world's biggest economies gathered in Rio de Janeiro for the group of 20's first high-level meeting of 2024. Now, opening the 2-day meeting, which featured U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Brazil's topmost diplomat, Mauro Vieira, said the explosion of global conflict shows international institutions like the UN are not working.
Sports news.
And finally, in your sports news, concluding the T20 series in Dambulla, Afghanistan snatched victory from the jaws of defeat against the hosts, winning the final match by a narrow margin of 3 runs. However, despite the spirited comeback, the series crown ultimately went to Sri Lanka, who had secured wins in the first 2 encounters. Batting first, Afghanistan posted a competitive total of 209 runs for 5 wickets. Opener Rahmanullah Gurbaz top scored with 70 runs, while the Sri Lankan bowling attack was spearheaded by Matisha Pathirana and Akila Dhananjaya, who claimed 2 wickets each. Chasing 210 for victory, Sri Lanka fell short by just 3 runs, finishing at 206 for the loss of 6 wickets after 20 overs. Kamidu Mendis impressed with a quick-fire 65 of 39 balls, but the rest of the batting lineup faltered, unable to completely bridge the gap against a disciplined Afghan bowling effort. Despite the loss in the final T20, Sri Lanka held on to the win series 2-1. The tournament saw impressive performance from both sides, but the Sri Lankan captain Wanidu Hasaranga received recognition as the player of the series for his contributions with both bat and ball.
Indeed, it was an exciting series for us Sri Lankans here at home as well. And that's a wrap of the Yes 101 visual radio for the morning. But do join us again for our afternoon edition today. I'm Zulfiq Farzan.
And I am Kenza Farooq.